Hi everybody. Today I'm going to be going over my opening round. I'm just going to go over the extra shots this time, or anything I really want to cover. I'm not going to go through all 18 holes because I'm hoping to try and keep these videos under like a half hour because I know it can be really time consuming to watch hour-long videos. So I'm trying to keep them a little shorter for you guys and only cover my shots and stuff. Just keeping the most information available to you guys in the least amount of time. So here's my scorecard for my opening round. I had a little slip up happen on hole 9 and I missed a 1 foot putt, but other than that, round was really good. And here we're just gonna dive into it and get into some shots. I mean, I covered every hole in my qualifying video. If you need to check out my setups, I'm still playing every hole the same except hole 5 I changed up, but we'll go over that when we get to it. So right away I'm just going to skip to hole 3 because hole 1 and 2 nothing special happened. Alright, so hole 3. Let's see. Alright, so I'm using 4 top spin and 2 left spin on the drive, and playing it the same way I did in qualifier, and I just line up right in the middle, giving myself enough space so if I hit a great left or a great right, I'm still good. Whenever you can, guys, always give yourself that room for error, because, I mean, let's face it, you're not going to hit perfect every single time. Well, at least I don't. And then I get it right in the middle of the fairway like I want. And now on this approach shot, I think I use around like 3.5 to 4 backspin depending on where I'm at. And the side spin will vary from like 3 to 5. But the key thing to take away from this is right where I'm playing. Like usually I'm having like the blue, outside of the blue ring touch the rough. That's about where I line up. Because I find this spot right here using side spin is generally a pretty flat spot compared to the rest of the fairway that's really curved. And I've never hit the rough or anything. I feel like it's far enough away to where you don't have to worry about hitting the rough. And it's a pretty safe spot to hit. And then I move it over about, I think, 1 or 2 cups only. Like, just very slightly on this shot, I move it over. Because it doesn't seem to move it. Whenever I follow my 1 cup rule, I'm always missing right barely. But if I aim straight at the hole, I miss just barely left. So I only do about half of the adjustment I normally do. In terms of cups, I adjust fully for the wind. And then I got that one to drop perfectly, finally. Even so, doing that line, you still get weird bounces sometimes, and it won't go where you plan for it to. But I feel like that spot in the fairway is your best bet at a good shot. Alright, now hole 5. I switched it up, and now on hole 5, I am going to the right. And the reason for this is so that I have a straight shot downwind with the thorn. Because I'm trying to get up there on that second fairway towards the front by the rough. And I'm using full topspin with Apox 6 and like 3 or 4 right spin. But if you have a lower club, you're probably going to have to pull out a Titan. And you'll still be able to make it over here easily. You just might not be as far up. But even using a long iron or a thorn or a max distance thorn or whatever short iron you're using will still be a lot better shot at the albatross from the right compared to the left. I haven't tried it in my master round yet, but I'm even going to be playing masters and trying to go right. I don't know how it'll work, but that shot is so much easier. Now on this shot I'm at 75% distance of my thorn, so I'm doing 75% of the wind. So I do like 8.8, like, so I'm adjusting for like a 6.6, 6.5 wind, so about 3.5 rings on the thorn. And you see I'm putting about like 2 bars of left spin, and that's to straighten out with the wind even more. So my adjustment doesn't have to be so precise and spot on. And then I line straight up with the cup, adjust my rings. And right there, I think I was feeling pressure from the shot clock, and I screwed up and hit great, but as you can see, that would have been in if I hit perfect. Let's fast forward this way. Alright, now hole 6. I'm playing the same way I did in the qualifying round, but in the qualifying round I didn't do as good, and I remember I said I was going to use more backspin. So this time I used, I think, 4 and like 3/4 bars or 4.5 bars of backspin, and as much right spinning as I could put on with the Kingmaker. And you'll see where I line up. I kind of envision the ball guide going straight into the hole. Or maybe I put it a little bit right of the hole. Actually, yeah, I put it a little bit right of the hole because it goes further up. But if we pause this, can I zoom in? Yeah. I aim at this white spot, basically. Like, so, if we're counting rows, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 6 rows over. Or 3 light rows over. If you count the light rows and the dark rows. It's like 3 light rows over, 5 rows total. I mean, that's if you want to be really precise. It'll vary with the wind, though, so I don't know how accurate that would be. I just line up the line going straight into the hole, basically. And then have the third bounce going right past the fringe. And then I adjust for the hole 8.6 in wind. No curl at all. And I got that one to drop perfectly. Hit dead center of the pin. This hole, I don't think I did anything special. I think I just missed the shot right. Yeah. Played it the same exact way. Oh, this is the shootout. Alright, here's hole 8. Now this I'm playing the same exact way I did in the qualifier too. I line up about 1 square right of the hole. And then for this 7.8, I'm only taking off about like 0.3 to 0.4 of the wind, so I think on this I adjusted like 7.5 or so. But I'm doing 3.5 top spin, no side spin. And then I put about half of the target up on the rough, as you can see right there. So I'm aiming towards the front edge of the sand. And the reason being, if you hit where the water's at right now, if you hit anything behind that, it's still in play, but the sand won't absorb the hit, and you'll go flying over the green. So you gotta hit the front half of the beach, and that's why I aim more up, towards the second half of it. Because I think it does hit a little further back than you're aiming. Yeah, so I adjusted about like 7.5 right there. I took a little bit off. No curl. And then went in on the right side of the cup there, so maybe about like a 7.6 adjustment or so. I don't know. I know I adjust a little bit less, and I'm always really close with it. If anything, I miss on the left-hand side usually. Here's the hole I screwed up. I did the drive perfect. Now, with an 11.9 wind for me, I gotta take off some power on this. Otherwise, I'll clear that rough way up there. I did hit a great shot right, but it worked out, and I'm in perfect position where I want to be. I think you're going to need APOC 5 to go to the right. At least. At least go to the right as far as I'm going to the right. You could still go to the right, but you'd have to be more where my opponent was. Like further back left in this fairway. So here, same thing I said in qualifying. Like, instead of using a max distance endbringer, even though it's an endbringer 7 and it's really accurate, I'm still a lot more accurate with the thorn for some reason at min distance. I got a little screwed up here with that flashing ball guide, so I put more backspin on it. And I'm using, again, the 2 left spin to straighten out the wind more. And then I was running out of time there, so I realized I was aiming a little right of the cup. Then I adjust my 50% of the wind. And then, hang on. Let me take this off here so these don't pop up. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and then I ended up curling a little bit to try and counteract that. As you can see right there, I curled a little bit, but I curled more than I wanted to, but I had to shoot on the first pass. And I ended up just barely missing left here and grazing the cup because of it. If I didn't even curl at all, I probably would have made it, but for some reason I was just second guessing myself. And I should have just went with my gut and not curled, but that last second decision to add a little bit of curl screwed me. And then here's the best shot of the tournament. Yep, that happened. Oh well. Still finished with a really good score. Now for hole 1, I know you can get over to this right side using a berserker or like one of those blue marble balls with lower clubs. But for me, I had someone tell me with APOC 6 that dead balls work really good with APOC 6, so I gave it a go. And it worked like a charm. So, I'm not sure exactly the certain ball combos and overpowers you have to do with certain balls. But the reason I like the dead ball so much is I don't have to guess on the overpowering. And I know I just have to overpower it all the way. And it makes it a lot easier than guessing if I have to overpower like 80% or so. But anyways, I'm doing full top spin and I did 2 right spin here. Hit the rough perfectly and rolled right onto the green and almost made it actually. So that was an easy eagle after that drive. Here, I'll cover hole 2 this time because I didn't last time. I don't remember how I did here. But I'm aiming 2 cups to the right or not 2 cups, I'm sorry, 2 squares to the right. Like I said in my qualifying round. Actually, looking back right there, I think I aimed with this wind is different than it normally is. It has a bit of headwind to it. I remember this shot. Now, I think I was straight in line with the hole, but I missed a little short. And I adjusted 87.5% of the wind here, so like 7.2 instead of 8.2. Just took off 1 mile per hour. Yeah, and I stopped just a hair short there. because I had more headwind, so I actually need to be aiming a bit more up. That's the first time I've seen a little bit of headwind in that wind. Okay, going to hole 3. I'll just go to the wood shot, because that's all I'm really focusing on right now anyways, is the approach shots. I know I didn't make this one, but I want to see how it went, so I can show you guys what I was talking about before. And I want to see too if I played in the same spot and stuff. So this one, I'm actually playing in a different spot. I'm playing it a little further up than I said to play it. And that actually could be why I'm missing it. Because I think I missed it slightly left, I want to say. But you can tell it got a weird bounce. It's not following the path that I'm aiming on. Or maybe I just got a weird bounce when I made it. I don't know. That shot is so tricky. I can get so close within a yard every time, but I always have mixed results with it. I know aiming in that general area will get you close every time. Alright, hole 5. I am playing it the same exact way. And with this 8.9 wind, I actually took off a little bit of topspin because I was worried about rolling into the rough up there. But I do the drive the same exact way. Curl it a little bit right. And full top in like 2 or 3 right, something like that. And this shot I'm going to be playing the same way. I already know it's going to be 75% club, but I always measure them out anyways just to be safe. And I'm probably going to play it the same way, about like 1 to 2 backspin and 2 left spin, I'm sorry. Or here I did 1 left spin. To line it more up with the wind, and then I'm playing it a little bit back because that tailwind will push the ball forward more. So I'm playing back about 1 square, and then I adjust for like 6.75 in wind, so like 3.5 rings about. And then I hit perfect this time. And it hit dead center pin. I think that's it this time. Look at this lucky albatross my opponent made. Well, I mean, he had the line right, but he didn't account for the tailwind. And that was so lucky. Alright, going on to hole 15 I missed. I didn't do anything on hole 15, 16, and 17. I think hole 17, I hit great left. I was starting to get tired at this point. After I play, I need to just play like a 9 at a time, I swear, because always in the back 9, my perfect ball starts slacking. That might have gone in. I mean, it missed about 1 square, which is usually about 1 mile per hour of wind. Alright, going on to hole 18. Playing it the same way I have been with a berserker. Full top and right, and then I put the 4th ring on the edge of the bunker. And I think with an 11 mile per hour wind, I got to underpower this little too. Yeah, I did take off a little bit of power. never want to miss great going against or going with the wind. You always want to hit great going against it. Got lucky there though and stayed in the fairway, just barely. Then my opponent duffed it. So, and I'm in the same position. And like I said last time, I always prefer the mid-distance thorn shot. I'm not adding left spin here because I'd have to add so much that it makes the shots really hard when you're using so much backspin like I am. It makes it really hard to just adjust when you're turning it that much without being able to see the ball guide. So I just played it no left spin here. And you'll see that I pull it back 2 cups against the wind. So there it is lined straight up. And then I'll pull it back 2. What? That's 1. And then that's 2. And then I'll adjust the 3 rings. Because I'm adjusting for like a 5.5 wind here. And I got that unlucky flashy rollout at the end, but luckily it still went in. That's what I was trying to avoid with using so much backspin. So, that's my opening round, guys. I still gotta go play Masters, and I'm gonna get that video out later tonight before the weekend round comes. Sorry I didn't have time to make a qualifying round video for Masters. I've just been really busy this week with work and stuff. But I want to get some Masters content out there too for the Masters guys. Alright, catch you all later.